All right, we are here with the driver of the number 88 Nationwide Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, Dale Jr. I'll just kick it off right away. Big week for you, obviously. Just take us through how everything's gone since Tuesday.
What's that? Sorry, I was listening to this conversation.
I just wanted to see how everything has gone, how your week has gone, and obviously there's been a lot of support since your announcement on Tuesday, and maybe just a reaction to the outpouring of love for you over the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's been real positive, which I'm thankful for. Upset, I was worried people were going to be upset and angry, like, you know, what the hell. So I was glad that they, so far, you know, for the most part, it's been real positive. Obviously, the conversations I've had with folks in the media and in the industry, in the garage, has been great. And, you know, so it's been good. We also went to the Nationwide Children's Hospital Thursday, which was a really timely good thing to do because I was ready to get back to work and, you know, get back to my routine, if you will. So that was fun to go there and sort of get that, you know, get the whole announcement and everything else off your mind for a little bit. And but yeah, it really went great. I thought the press conference was set up well, and that all went smooth as I guess I could have hoped. I felt like when I was up there giving my speech that I sounded like a monotone robot, but everybody seems to be giving me positive reviews on that. So otherwise, I mean, it was really good. You know, it's been hard to admit that's what I want to do, and that's the choice I want to make. And but otherwise, you know, the feedback's been great.
Great. Thank you, Dale. All right, we'll start off here in the front with Jim, Jeff, Paul.
JimMotorMotorsport.com. I was going to ask you this the other day, but is there anything to the idea that perhaps Sunday, for the first time in your racing career ever, you can race with no pressure whatsoever? As far as you're always looking ahead to something or having to do something, and if that's true, then what's that? Have you given that much thought?
Well, I certainly, you know, I think that there'll still be, you know, the fans are going to want you to do as well as they can. So, you know, they're still going to have expectations, you know, as per usual. The team, the guys, they all, myself, we'd love to win some races. You know, I almost say a race, but some races would be, you know, great going out in your last season to get some victories. We just want to, you know, to go to victory lane one more time, just get that experience one more time would be awesome for me, and I think the guys would love it for sure. But I certainly did feel a lot more relaxed. Now, I don't know whether it's because I finally got to tell everybody and let everybody know what we're doing, get that over with, but I certainly felt real relaxed today in the garage during practice. I felt like there was less pressure from somewhere, and a large amount, you know, a lot different. We had a good practice. We weren't exactly right when we started, and I guess that freedom of thought and free from the stress or whatever that I was dealing with, you know, helped us get through a good practice and find some speed. And I don't know whether we'll be that fortunate at every practice and in every race, but, you know, I kind of thought about when we knew it was Steve's last year when he was my crew chief. He called that whole season completely different. You know, he was really, he was more aggressive, and I think it was because he had the freedom to be that way. And he's like, you know, what if it don't work? And a lot of times it ended up working out. We won both of those Pocono races on pit calls that he made. We didn't just outrun everybody. There's things he did in the middle of the race that we might not have done had he not had that, you know, had his mind made up what he was doing and hey, this is my last hurrah. We're going to go for it kind of attitude. And I noticed that whole year, he was a much more easygoing, approachable. I mean, he's pretty damn likable, but he was much more likable and easy to be around. Everything rolled off his back. We didn't get frustrated as easily, and I'm anticipating that being similar for me. Not, that's it. I mean, if usually when we start practice and the car's tight in the center and stuff, the tone of the conversation is completely different. But since being able to make that announcement and let my guys know, and everybody else included, I'm not going to get so spun out if something's just not perfect on the car, or the car's not exactly what we need, or we're a little slow. I guess I won't be as panicky about it, and the frustration won't jump in there as quickly as it usually does. I had to stay late Friday and help the guys pick up pits and all that stuff because I was too frustrated and mouthy on the radio, and so there'll be a little bit less of that.
We'll go Jeff, and next Paul.
Hi, Jeff Gluck from jeffgluck.com. Not that we're trying to shove you out the door or anything, but there's been a lot of speculation about your replacement.
Yep.
How much input do you expect to have on that process?
I would love to have a lot, but in my position, I'm paid to drive Rick's car. If he wants something else from me, I'm gonna wait for him to ask for it. I wouldn't never go in there and go, man, that's what you guys got to do. With Ducard and all the folks that they have working there, they all probably, I can't read their minds, but I'm sure they all have a direction that they want to go, and they have ideas that are, there's just things about the company that I'm not quite as in touch with that that'll help them make that decision. They don't need, they probably got everybody in the world telling them what they ought to do, and they don't need me. But if they ask for it, I'm certainly wanting to be involved in that. I want the team to have more success. I want it to be. I said this every offseason. Like every offseason is a chance to be better than you were the year before. If it's an opportunity to make those personnel changes that are in those hard decisions, it's a chance to do it. The things you can't do in the middle of the river, in the middle of the season. And when Steve was on his way out, me and him both said, anytime anybody in the team is being replaced or if they're being promoted, you got to try to make that spot better than it was before. I felt like that Greg was the guy that could come in there and make that job better than Steve. If we're going to make a change at crew chief, we want to upgrade. If we're going to make a change at driver, we want to upgrade. So I want that team, I want them to have a driver that I feel is plenty capable, and because I want to see those guys win races because they're my brothers, and also love it when Rick's happy and he likes to win. So, I certainly have I'm invested in that team personally, so I'd love to be a part of their future and what they decide to do. So I'll just wait and see if that's something they want me to be a part of.
Paul?
Paul Woody, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Dale, Martin Truex Jr. and Elliott Sadler came in today and said that they wouldn't be where they are now without your help. The younger drivers who've been in today said you've been a big influence on their careers as well. What is it about you that enabled you to help people, that you saw people who needed help and were able to give it to them?
Well, one of the things that enables me to do it is our notoriety, our ability to connect with partners, to be able to bring in partnerships to fund that race team at Junior Motorsports. And so, the people want to come there and be a part of that, and that gives us an opportunity to give drivers, crew chiefs, crew members, all those guys a springboard to whatever their dreams are. And like the Navy came to us and said, you guys want to start a team? I mean, why'd they call us? But so I think our reputation and notoriety in the sport led to our opportunities to help those people, and that Navy sponsorship indirectly got Brad Keselowski his opportunity with Penske. We were able to get Brad in the car. I can't run the car without the funding, so it's it just our connection with Hendrick as well. We weren't a very competitive team when that communication and connection wasn't as strong. We made a lot of changes in our organization several years ago that increased the communication back and forth. Basically, I brought in a bunch of guys that Rick wanted to cultivate and that were possible future crew chiefs. The next, trying to find the next Chad Knaus. We brought them all in there, and we're responsible for these guys and giving them the opportunity we can to succeed. And it now connects us to Rick, because he has his people in our organization that he's trying to grow. And, like Greg Ives' story is a perfect example. Chase's story is a perfect example. So for us to become an asset to Hendrick Motorsports in that way, to where they need us as much as we really need them, was really key to give us opportunities. It just, it just seemed to have been a lot of luck, a lot of good things, a lot of good fortune for those opportunities to line up. When me and Teresa started Chance 2, I was talking to Richie Gilmore, and he said, "You need to look at Truex's son." We were at a race somewhere, a practice, and he was testing, and he was out there running around, and I had my car there, and we were flying, and I said, "You ought to get in my car, man. This is exactly how your car's supposed to drive," so he can go back and work on his car, know exactly what he's trying to do to get his car to work. And we struck up a friendship, and he ended up driving for us. Just a lot of random encounters and people tipping you off. Mark Martin's one of the guys that was always really good at tipping you off about drivers, or he was a good scout as well. Always admired that about him. Knowing when he saw talent. Always wondered what he was looking for and how he found it. But I love to. It's another part of it is your own ego. You kind of want to leave a mark on the sport. You want to leave some evidence behind that you were a part of it and you were there and you did some things to help it move along. So as we've ran through this the last several years with the Xfinity program, I've been really proud with what we've been able to accomplish. I feel like we've done a lot of great things outside the car, as well as what we've done inside the race car on the Cup level. So, and to be quite honest, I'm not very hands-on. I love being a part of it, but Kelly deserves a majority of the credit, because she's the day-to-day operator over there. Yeah, I mean, best thing about this job is working with your friends. I mean, when we start going to the racetrack as a kid, you take your buddies. You don't take strangers with you. And if your paths can cross, one of the coolest things about owning that Xfinity team was being able to get my peers like McMurray drive my car at Atlanta and win in it. Stewart drove our car several times. Robbie Gordon drove it a couple times. All those names, Harvick come in there and really helped us a lot as a company. Now, he didn't just hop in the car. Like, he was a big he was big on, helping us get going in the right direction with our equipment, how our cars needed to be, and helped us understand how to be more diligent there. So the list of drivers that I've been able to put in that car, I'm super proud of having the opportunity to do that. To work with it's basically about just working with your buddies and having fun with your friends.
Okay, we'll go to Tom. We'll try to get to as many as we can. We have a number of questions. Nate, and we'll go in the back. Tom.
Hey, Dale. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Was there a single day like you woke up and said, yeah, this is it for me? I mean, you talked at length the other day, but you never really talked through when you came to that decision and how long it took. I'm curious. Well,
it didn't happen like that. It was when I was hurt last year, there were several chunks of time where I was like, I don't think I can race again if I wanted to. So there were several points in the deal last year where not driving cars was a real possibility. And you know, I didn't really even care that it. You know, I was so sick. You were so sick that you just wanted to be normal. You didn't care whether you got to race again. You were so bad you just wanted to hopefully just get right. You know, so it wasn't like it wasn't like it happened. You know, it wasn't like this just happened this season where I was like, made my mind up. What I went through last year, as I got well, the idea of racing became a real possibility. But one thing that never left my mind was, retirement was kind of always in the back of my mind, and I never could get myself to 100% say, man, I want to do an extension. I'm going forward 100%. I'm in mentally, everything's 100%. I couldn't never get there. And, I was like, that must mean it's time for me to hang it up. It's so hard to explain how that happens. At least for me, it wasn't something that just, it wasn't like a switch, you know. It was kind of like just a long, what's it been, 10 months since I got hurt? That whole experience is part of the decision, you know. It's not really just like one reason or nothing really stands out. It just it's what I need to do, and I need to do it. I need to make this decision. I mean, my heart still loves to drive, and I will have so much fun the rest of the season doing that. But there's a time when it's got to come to an end, and that's how it is for me.
Hank?
Hey, Dale, I know you said Tuesday that you don't really want this to be a tribute tour, but obviously with your popularity and the way the sport has struggled with fans.
Did I say that?
Kind of.
Man, why did I say that?
You can only have so many rocking chairs, man.
That was dumb.
But obviously with your popularity and the way the sport has struggled, tracks are going to kind of milk you for everything they can, right to the finish line. Are you cool with that? And is there a way to use that to kind of promote something else, that you're leaving behind?
Yeah, I don't really know about the second part of that question, but the tracks got to do what they got to do. None of that is going to rub me the wrong way, and in my head, I'm going to be thinking this, man, this is the last time I'm going to do this at this track. It's, when we go to these places for the second time, I'll certainly be like, man, this is the last time I'm going to race this racetrack and in competition with these guys. And, so I'll be thinking about those things, having my own experience with that. So I won't be too, whatever tracks need to do, that's okay. It's a little weird. The packages, like the $88, but that stuff's always kind of been a little weird to me. But it's whatever tracks need to do. I'm cool.
All right, we got time for one more question. We'll end it on Claire.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Dale, how will you decide what it is that you'll do next? I mean, I heard there's a big agency hired. Kelly be involved. You probably have some philanthropy ideas. And how will you make the decision? Yeah, I mean, take some time with it, but how will you?
I couldn't talk to anybody about what opportunities were out there. I got a lot of things, obviously that I'm interested in to see if I'm wanted and see if there's places for me to be. And Rick's told me he wants me to be involved in HMS. I don't know what that means, but I want to be a part of racing. I know that. So whatever he wants me to do, I'm certainly open to sitting down and seeing how I can be useful. Obviously, I enjoyed my fun in the booth if that's an opportunity for me, I'm certainly going to have those conversations to find out. But I haven't been able to really talk to anybody and even try to sort that out because I couldn't communicate to anyone, man, I'm going to retire, so can we talk about X, Y, and Z, and as you think this is something I could do? But now I can. Now I can have those conversations with the people that I really trust, and yeah, we did team up with an agency, and we we met with several. It was really coincidental. It wasn't connected to the retirement decision because we still kind of hadn't made that decision in the initial meetings. But we ran through we vetted out a few opportunities with different agencies, and we basically did that solely because we feel like we've exhausted everything we can do within our own under the roof at Junior Motorsports with my sister Mike Davis. We kind of want to open ourselves up to what other opportunities and possibilities there are for us and whatever ideas that they might have. So that just seemed to be the time is right kind of decision. Not really. I hadn't chosen fully to retire when we started meeting with them, but that's going to be some stuff that I think produces opportunities, but maybe not career-long opportunities, just kind of one-offs here and there. We'll just see. I don't know, but I want to stay busy. I want to work. I want to, I would love to be one of the people that I really respected a lot was Benny Parsons. I thought that he left as important of a mark outside the car as he did inside the car. Whatever mark I can leave, I would love to be able to be as big an asset to the sport as I can be beyond driving. It's up to everyone else how big an asset I was up to this point, but I'd love to still, be helpful and do whatever I can to help the sport. I love being around it, being a part of it. I love racing. I love watching racing. And we got a lot of things to be excited about, a lot of young talent pouring in, and they're going to be fun to watch.
I'm going to squeeze in one more. I'm sorry I couldn't get to everybody, but Dale's got to go.
Well, obviously, anytime we won a race here, that was great. We won a couple cup races, a few Xfinity races. Last year, we won right before that was really the highlight of the season last year. So it's been it's been a great racetrack. I think I like this racetrack so much because it really reminded me of Myrtle Beach, very similar in shape and as well as group level. And I kind of grew up racing at Myrtle Beach for about 4 years in the mid-'90s. So when I came here, I was like, wow, this feels, I'm not intimidated or don't have to really find my way around this place when I first started coming in the Xfinity Series in '98. Just kind of seemed to fit because of my experience at Myrtle Beach.
Dale, for all the
you.
time.
See y'all.
Sorry for those that didn't get a question in. Good luck this weekend.